What's going on, everybody? Good evening, good evening. All right. Looks like we got some people coming in. It's a little bit after 7:30. We're going to make sure that we're respectful of everyone's time. So definitely appreciate those that are here. I know we got people that'll be listening on different platforms. So those who actually register, you may be able to chime in directly and see me. I think we got some people on Instagram and in a couple of other private groups that'll be sharing this link this evening. So definitely appreciate those. So if you can see me, not sure if you're able to chat or not, but definitely I appreciate you. just know that. So let me switch things up here a little bit. Let's get that going. All right, all right. Let's see here. All right. We're gonna all right. All right, so we're gonna make sure everybody's on mute, make sure no one can chitty chat during the event this evening. So definitely appreciate everybody that's on board here. So for those that are here, welcome. I am Chris Brown, real estate professional as well as marketing entrepreneur. Welcome to the Real Estate Gold Diggers 30-day challenge. And so it's going to be a lot of information that we'll be going over. And so definitely stay tuned. I'll go over the details as in with the agenda, what to expect during this. So since we are about 5 minutes past 7:30, we're going to go ahead and get the presentation started. Tonight, we'll only be going till about 8:30, maybe a little bit less than that. So it won't be very long tonight. Like I said, I definitely want to be respectful of everyone's time and everyone that is here that is on board. So let's get this started. Bear with me. All right. Here we go, guys. Let's get this started. All right, here we go. So Real Estate Gold Diggers 30-day challenge, I will be presenting it myself, Chris Brown. So definitely welcome to everyone that is here and that is on board. First, before we get started, I definitely have a disclaimer. So this presentation is not, and nothing in it should be construed as actual actions to take. All investing, including real estate, is speculative in nature and involves a risk of loss. When building wealth and investing, it is strongly encouraged to seek personal advice from your professional investor advisor and to complete your due diligence regarding any information being shared. Information that we'll actually be sharing is actually information from my personal experience, and that is in today's time. This isn't something that happened multiple years ago. This is an actual time. So what should you expect? So definitely what you should expect during the 30-day challenge, we are going to have weekly meetups. We will typically meet each Thursday, same time, same place. I'll make sure that everybody receives the invite. So make sure that you guys have actually registered, because I will use that information to send you the information for the upcoming weeks. So also we will have homework assignments. So what I would like you guys to do is actually get engaged with this. The homework is mainly just for you guys to take some action. You know, I just don't want you guys to kind of sit here for a 30-day challenge and just absorb the information. Yes, it's good that you can absorb it, but at the same time, you need to take some action. You got to make some things happen. So definitely get engaged. The homework assignments, they don't take long. I know we haven't done homework in a while. Some of us, I think we got some people from the 716 that's out there. So definitely don't be afraid of the homework. Also material. So you should have received an email. In that email, you should have received an invite to the private Facebook group. Now, I've asked people to actually join the private Facebook group, and the reason being is because there's going to be additional material. There's going to be material that we're going to discuss tonight, that if you need to recap or anything along those lines, that information will be in that private group. I'll have documents in there so that you guys can actually access it. So I want to encourage you to join the private group. If there's an issue or anything along those lines, you can always reach out to me. We can always get it resolved for you. But keep that in mind. That's the reason for the private group. During this 30 days, we have 8 modules total that we'll cover. We'll cover 2 modules per week. So this week we'll only cover 2 this evening. So that's why we're going to keep it down to an hour so that you guys can get back to your family and get prepared for the rest of your week. All right. So the 8 modules, the weekly agenda. So like I said, for this evening, we have 2 that we'll be covering. Having an ethical mindset, building a contractor team. That's what we'll be discussing this evening. Next week, following week, building a super team. And I think we may have one of our speakers that will at some point during this challenge, you'll be sure to know, and that's Miss Prescott. She'll be giving you guys some information about insurance and the importance of it. And then finding motivated sellers. A lot of people are always asking these questions. Well, how do I find investment properties that I can invest in? So I'll be giving some nuggets throughout this program about that. Then the third week, the third and fourth week, those are the moneymaker weeks. I'll really be going into details. Those will really be pushing that 1 hour time frame. We may go over a little bit for the third and fourth week, but it's going to be a lot of valuable information. So finding investor partners, then using other people's money. Big thing, very big thing. And then for the final week, we have find the right deal, even during the pandemic, and then making money with no money. So a lot of people think that they have to have tons of money just to be able to make money in the investing world. It is not true. And to this day, I am still leaning on that and working with people even without money. So keep that in mind. All right, so topics that'll be of discussion. So like I said, there's going to be, those are the modules that we'll go through, but through those modules, we'll have information that you guys can actually get more details about. So these topics that we'll be discussing, as you guys can see, it's a number of topics: importance of a focused mindset, making money in any market, importance of a coach, making money with no money, how to analyze a deal, building a family legacy, because that's what this is about, building generational wealth. What is wholesaling? Tips that I'm going to share with you that's going to save you thousands of dollars if you get really active in building generational wealth with real estate. Understanding your why. It's going to be important because there's going to be times where you will actually have situations, it's up and down, and when you're down, you definitely need to have a focus of why you're actually investing and what your final goal is. And I'll be sharing one of my final goals, or a couple of my final goals of why I'm actually in the business. So building a power team. You will know that being resourceful is going to be the key. Being resourceful is going to be very helpful to you. So make sure that being resourceful is key. It's building a power team. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that the easy way, and it's not very difficult. And then lastly here, we have building a team of responsible contractors. So keep that in mind. So let's see here. So a little bit about me. I am from upstate New York, Buffalo, Niagara Falls, New York area. I lived there for a period of time and then actually came and moved to Florida. I went to high school, and then from there, I actually went to school in a small school in Michigan. There I played football, ran track, and then I also got 2 degrees while I was there, one in business marketing, the other one in mathematics. And then my road to real estate actually got started in about 2004. So I've actually been involved in real estate for a number of years. And with me being involved with it, I've seen a lot, done a lot, met a lot of people, seen a lot of people come, seen a lot of people go. I've actually even experienced a downturn in the real estate market. So I've seen a number of things. I won't say that I know a lot, but I definitely have a lot of experience. So that's something that I want to be able to give back as I'm doing this mastermind and getting people involved. Each one teach one, and I'm a big advocate of that, and I'll be able to tell you guys a little bit more about that as well. So it gives you a little bit of insight about me, who I am, where I've come from in the real estate world. I started off, I was in my early 20s, so if somebody's spiffy with math, started off in my early 20s. I was not, I didn't come from a family that actually invested in real estate. So I actually met some people individual introduced me to a group of people that really put me on. And it really took me a long way. One of my biggest claims to fame is that I was a multiple property owner, and I actually lived in an apartment. So I had all these houses, but I lived in an apartment myself, but I was able to leverage. They helped me understand leveraging an asset and not looking at it so much as it being a liability where I'm making a monthly payment and so forth along those lines. So they taught me how to look at real estate as being an asset. So I was able to purchase these and actually have individuals living in these homes, basically renting, tenants living in these homes, and they were paying the mortgage. And not only were they paying the mortgage, but I had a spread of money, cash flow, as we would call it in the investing world, cash flow that actually, I took that from these multiple properties and was able to pay my bills. I actually had a job at the time. It was decent. It was decent. And I was living a lifestyle that I never really thought of. And that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg, but it was being able to have a taste of financial freedom. So that's something I want to be able to share with you guys. And as I'm doing this mastermind. All right, as I said, I wanted to share my why with you guys. A lot of people are always curious, why do I do this? I have 4 areas or 4 pillars that I typically abide by. One of them being sharing the keys to success. And that's each one, teach one. Like I said, I'm a big advocate of that. That's one of the reasons why I am doing this mastermind, so that I can share. One of my big goals for this year is to be able to help, at my first tier goal is help 100 individuals, educate them on investing in real estate and building generational wealth. You know, it's not just about one person, it's about the wealth of yourself, your family, and the generations that you are bringing up, as well as even your community. You know, it's all enriching everyone and empowering everyone. Education is key. It actually leads right into my second pillar here, that being a speaker and educating people about this real estate. I'm taking this a little bit serious this year, and being able to share this story, share my story basically. Share my story with other individuals. In the middle there, you see the 2 little ones. They are a big part of my motivation, as in, you know, there's not too far away from going to college, and these investments that I'll be putting together will help them make sure that they make it to the next level of education. So that's one of my personal attributes and goals that I want to make sure I achieve. And then to the far right, that is actually, it's been a couple of years since I've been there, but this is actually a picture of the Niagara Falls on the American side. I believe that is the Horseshoe Falls right there, but trips, family trips, that is a big thing for me. You know, being able to spend time, being able to do some different things. You know, it's not about spending money. It's mainly about creating memories. And that's what life is about, creating memories. So doing family trips, doing different things together, that's what it's all about. And that's what I really, really, really like to do. So for those who are new to me and not fully aware of who I am, this is, if you wanted to kind of contact me, I am heavy on social media. With social media, you are able to find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm also on LinkedIn. If you guys have any questions, anything, I know a number of people reach out to me on a regular basis with different questions, which is perfectly fine. So feel free to do that. You know, definitely, like I said, it's all about encouraging, but make sure you guys are becoming a part of the private group, because what's going to happen is not only is it going to be material in there, there's going to be additional information that is going to be shared. There's only so much that you can share within a 30-day period, and there's going to be so many different experiences that people will go through, and that's what that group is going to be for you guys to kind of share your experiences. If you're going through something, let's share that experience, because we may have generally a common goal, but we're going to travel different paths to it. So if we can share that, not only are you projecting yourself, but then you may be also encouraging someone else to do something as well. So be sure to become a part of that private group there. All right. All right, so before we get into the nitty gritty of things, one of the big things that I wanted to do is to make sure that you guys, let's see here, make sure that we didn't pause it. Did we pause? Okay, all right, here we go. Just make sure that we didn't pause here. Share screen as paused. All right, sorry about that, guys. So just wanted to make sure we didn't pause there. So one of the big things I want to make sure that we do with you guys is make sure that you have a clear understanding of different things. And then also wanted to share with you guys, if there's anything that you learn from this, let me take this off of here. If there's anything that you guys learn from here and this evening, I want to make sure that you guys learn about the 7 habits of highly successful people. That's something that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Let's get that taken care of. Sorry about that, guys. All right, 9 habits of highly successful people. The first one, highly successful people, they typically tend to get up early. So if you're one of those late night people, I completely understand, but you know, if you're trying to do something different, there's reasons why you want to get up early, because you want to get up before everyone else does. You know, the world starts at a certain time, and if you're able to get involved and get active before everyone else, you're able to plan your day and actually control your day. Another tip, or they typically read a lot. You know, highly successful people typically read a lot. They also typically spend 15 to 30 minutes each day actually focusing on what they're doing and have focused thinking. So that's a practice. Some people have a time where they actually focus and focus on what their schedule is actually going to be for the day. So they're not just wondering different goals that they may have or different action plans that they need to do. Another habit of successful people would be they make exercise a priority. So your body is your temple. You only got one of those, so it's always important to encourage yourself to take care of your body. Health gives you a little bit more longevity, especially the different things that are going on today. You want to make sure that you're taking care of your body and maintaining your health, because if you're not able to function, you're not able to do anything else. And if you're not able to do anything else, you're not able to spend time with the family, not able to spend time being successful and doing successful things and achieving your goals. They typically spend time with people that actually inspire them. So if you're looking at people that are highly successful, they're not usually hanging around people that aren't doing things that are positive, people that aren't really doing anything. If you're looking to grow, you want to hang around other people that are continuously growing themselves. So always keep that in mind. If you're not growing, then you're dying. So keep that in mind. To pursue their own goals. They typically pursue their own goals. They have their own agenda. They know what they're doing. They're more of a leader than actually following the flock. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be doing it. They may have their own agenda. They may have their own set goals. You know, I'm going through that right now. It's just like working with a group of people, and they had a particular mindset, goals that they had, which was completely different from the goals that I had. And so I'm finding myself separating a little bit from that group. And from that group, I'm going to be making some things happen that'll be a little bit more focused for my goals, which is off of those 4 pillars that I showed you guys, and growing. So that's sometimes you got to step out. You got to step out and do what you got to do. They typically make sure that they get enough sleep. So I know that sometimes is a little mind-boggling. I play with that myself. So, you know, keep that in mind. Get some rest. All right, number 8, they have multiple incomes. So in this world, one of the big things that we want to make sure that we're doing is having multiple streams of income. I deal with real estate, and one of the big goals for me this year is to expand in a couple of different areas, and it's happening. It's happening, and I'm wondering why I didn't do it sooner. So I've actually had some conversations with some people about expanding it, and they've even asked me, why haven't you done it? There's just like, I thought you would have much sooner, so I'm glad you've asked. And a lot of times we don't realize that when you want to expand, it's just really just reaching out to your network, and there's people that's there that's that's willing to help you if you're willing to help yourself, of course. So make sure that you're willing to help yourself. And the last one here is to another habit of highly successful people is that they avoid people that are time wasters. You know, people, like I said before, if they're not doing much with themselves or they're not making you better, then you may not want to spend a lot of time with them. They're not encouraging you to grow, encouraging you to do something different, continue to help you with what you're doing, or just motivating you. You need people like that in your life. So make sure, if you're looking to be a highly successful person, make sure you have people around you that are actually non-time wasters, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you. What I want to get set up for you guys, and make sure that you guys give you guys the sneak peek of a course that I've actually created. This course is, you guys are going to be one of the first groups of people that actually see this course. I've created this course. Like I said, these are 8 different modules that I'll be covering. So I'm gonna give you guys access, give you guys a sneak peek of behind the scenes, and I'll let you guys take a look. And like I said, I've spoken to a few folks. Do not hesitate to let me know to give me feedback. I'm not, I'm not soft in that sense. So make sure that you guys have any feedback, make sure that you're doing so. Reach out to me, let me know. And I definitely appreciate it, because if I get better, you guys get better, and I help other people get better as well. So always keep that in mind. All right. So let's go ahead and get this shared for you guys, and you guys get this sneak peek. All right, so the first module that we'll be going through is having an ethical mindset. And I want to make sure that you guys go through this and just let me know what you guys think.
Hey everybody, it is Chris Brown, real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur, and welcome to Module 1, and this is the investor mindset. And I wanted to start off with this particular module because it's a mindset. You know, we can have all the skills in the world to do many things, but if your mindset isn't properly focused and have a clear understanding of what you're doing, you're not going to accomplish much. And having an investor mindset is making sure that you're coming from a place of service. You know, some people, when they hear the word investor, they kind of get spooked, or they just don't understand, you know, the investor themselves. So always have a place of service, have a mindset of a place of service, and understanding what your why is. Why are you investing? So one of the things people ask me is, you know, when is the right time to actually invest in real estate? Investing in real estate, the time is now. Truth be told, there's so many opportunities out there, but a lot of people just cannot identify them. And what I mean by identifying different investment opportunities is they just don't understand how to negotiate a deal or understand what a deal actually is. So, you know, when people ask me that question, I always ask them, what is it that you're looking to do? And everybody says, hey, I want to make money. Okay, well, why do you want to make money? You know, what are you looking to do? Where are you at in life right now? You know, those are some of the questions that you have to ask yourself and have an understanding of. So, you know, right now, things are uncertain. We're going through a pandemic and people are getting spooked. And tell you the truth, my investment business has actually picked up. And it's strange because some people just cannot identify what's going on and what opportunities are out there. So this is the time to pivot. Go ahead and make the pivot and have an understanding of what an actual deal is. And that's why we're doing this mastermind, because you're going to learn different techniques that may not be known to you, or for the most part, a lot of these techniques aren't put out there a lot. You know, the information is out there, but it's sporadic or it may not be direct, but there's so many opportunities. When you have a bunch of people that are running away from real estate, that's probably the time when you need to actually get involved in real estate. Because anybody can make money in a booming market. You don't have to have any knowledge and still make money. So trust me, I've been there, done that, been through the cycles and seen a lot of people make money that had no clue of what they were doing. But it's, that's how the market works sometimes. But this is a time to actually pivot, make those adjustments, and have an understanding of how you can invest in your future. So when I say future, some people are like, well, what can I do for, say my kids? What can I do for myself, my family? Building generational wealth is the key for right now. And you want to make opportunities available not only for yourself, but also for family members, your kids, your grandkids. There's opportunities that you can invest in now that will benefit them later on down the road. A lot of people build portfolios specifically for that. If you're looking to pay college funds, there's opportunities with that as well. Just learning how investments can help you achieve your future goals. And like I said, if it's not for you right now, then it may be for someone else later on down the road. And building generational wealth, and that's how the rich stay rich and continue to have that pattern within their family or within their business that they have, is that continuous understanding of what wealth is. And real estate is a place to be. You can talk to a lot of wealthy people and well-off people, and I guarantee you that they have some relationship with real estate, and because they understand that it's a benefit and the benefits that it has as being a basis for wealth. So definitely be sure. What markets work best? Some people are saying, hey, my market is, we don't have the same types of homes in my neighborhood or in my area of town compared to, say, across town. Well, let me tell you, any market can make money. It's just understanding what, like I said, understanding what your market is and what opportunities actually are there. The more that you educate yourself, the more deals will come your way, because things or deal opportunities that a lot of people may pass over, you'll have an understanding, have a different mindset of understanding why it is a deal and what could make it a deal. Not every home is a flip type of home, and not every deal is a flip home. Not every deal is a home that you may want to hold on to. And then some deals, you may want to hold on for a shorter period of time versus, say, a long period of time. So these are some of the things that we're going to go over later on in the different modules, so that you have a clear understanding of what makes it a deal, and also understand what you're looking for in a deal. So I mentioned earlier, why? Why do you want to make money? So one of the things that we're going to do here is I want to make sure that you guys do a quick homework assignment. That homework assignment is actually going to be, I want you guys to think about what your why is. Why do you want to make additional money? Are you building generational wealth? Are you looking for a better life? You're looking to take trips? What is your why? And the reason I say that is because you have to have that kind of clear in the beginning, because if you understand why you're doing something, there's going to be times where you're not motivated to focus on these different tasks. And you need to have those whys that actually push you through this process. So keep that in mind. I want to have you guys do that as a homework assignment. Write down what your why is. And not only just writing down what your why is, let's also talk about what makes you unique. Why are you unique? It may be your own personal opinion of yourself, but just those two things. What is your why? Why are you looking to live a better life? Why are you looking to build generational wealth? Why are you looking for an opportunity to grow? Think about that. What are you trying to better in your life? And then also, what makes you unique? It's always a good thing to kind of hear and think about yourself. What makes you unique? What makes you different from anyone else. And a lot of, like I said, it may just be your own personal opinion. It doesn't have to be something that's super factual that you have to prove, but what makes you unique. So there we are. We have our module 1 and also our homework assignment. So make sure that you guys get that done and squared away prior to next week. We want to make sure that we have these items taken care of, written out. It should only take you about 10 minutes, give you 10, 15 minutes, give you an opportunity to think about it. Just something to write down, and you'll find that that'll pay off in the long run. But this is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. Take care.
Well, there you go, guys. What's going on? It's me again. That was module 1. And, it's one of the good things about this course is just being able to go through these different things. You got to know, like I said, it's important to know what your whys are. It's also important to know what makes you unique. Think about it. A lot of people don't even think about what makes me unique. Am I, athletic? Am I ambitious? Am I a go-getter? Am I a helper? Helping other people grow. What is it that's unique about you? So let's keep that in mind. So for the 2 assignments, what I like you guys to do, as I mentioned, make sure that you guys are doing the 2 assignments. 1, what is your why? And 2, what makes you unique? If you are a part of the group, the private group, I'm going to ask that you actually share that information. If you can share that information with the group, that'd be great. Like I said, I want to encourage you guys to engage, do different things. Let's get you involved. So definitely appreciate those that are on board here. I see Betty, I see Sherm, Eddie, what's going on? Deb, Say Less group, I see you guys. I think Trenton's on one of those as well. DeAndre, what's going on, buddy? I see you up there. So definitely appreciate you guys being on board. So we're going to go ahead and jump into module 2. Module 2 is building a contractor team. So I want to make sure that you guys pay close attention on this particular module, because what's going to happen is I'm definitely going to be sharing some nuggets that will save you thousands of dollars. And the reason I say that is because I'm going to share some mistakes that I made that cost me thousands of dollars. So I'm going to share this with you so that you don't do it. So make sure you guys check this out, and we're going to go ahead and jump into module 2. Don't forget the homework assignment number 1.
Everyone, this is module 2. This is building a contractor team, and some of the things that you guys need to know about this. I would definitely say with any contractor or any trade that you have or think that you're going to come across in the real estate world, have at least 3 of them. And what I mean by that is that you're going to have different experiences. You may have a positive one, and that positive experience may not last into the next project. So that's why I say have at least 3. And there's a couple of more reasons as I go along in this, as you're building your contractor team. So make sure that you have 3 different contractors for each trade. You want people that are reliable, people that are also available, depending upon how busy that contractor may be. If you only have that one contractor and they are booked for the next month and a half, that can cost you money with any type of project that you're needing repairs on or even doing a rehab on. So make sure you have 3. Another thing that you want to make sure that your contractor is, make sure that they're licensed, insured. You want to make sure that they have that. Then you also want to make sure that they have references. So each contractor, you want to make sure that you're getting some type of reference from, in reference basically into their work and how they've operated. And the most important, where I find a lot of how I'm able to weed out the good and bad, is the third part is that with contractors, you want to visit them on their work site. So this is so key. It sounds so basic, but so key, because a lot of times in today's world, people will show you pictures. Pictures are perfect. That's a great starting point. They may show you a before and after picture. That's a great starting point. But the thing is you want to see these individuals on their job sites. And that's the key thing. You want to see them working on their job site. You want to go visit them and have them walk you through what they've done on that particular job. I've had a couple of mistakes that I didn't actually do that third step where I was just looking at pictures, and come to find out that individual was actually subcontracting the work. So, there's pros and cons, and a lot of cons to dealing with people who actually subcontract. So you want to make sure, and that's another reason why you want to make sure that they're licensed and insured, so that you're not taking the blunt of responsibility. Another thing is with building a contractor team, you want to understand their pricing. And a lot of times when you're working with contractors, you'll tell them what the job is and they'll give you a flat fee. That's going to be $6,000. Okay, well, what's $6,000? Is it the material that's expensive, or is it the labor that is expensive? You want them to break it down for you. So if you're dealing with a contractor, and sometimes you'll get a little bit of pushback, you want to know what the labor cost is, and then you also want to know what the material cost is. You want that separated because you want to know what you're paying for, because it's not just this job. When you're building a contractor team, it's because this is a portion of your business. So if you know what materials cost, and then also what a contractor is charging you for labor, then that little piece of information will allow you to be able to bid on your projects appropriately. And what I mean by that is that, say for instance, I had a flooring contractor, and with this particular flooring contractor, I needed to know what the material cost was, and I also needed to know what their labor was. With flooring, we were looking at per square foot. How much is it labor per square foot? And then it was also, well, how much is material per square foot? If they were just doing the flooring, that's it. Now, if they start doing baseboards and quarter round and stuff, that's a linear foot that you'll actually get charged for. So that's a different fee. So you always want to see what's included in the labor, and then also what's included in the material, because sometimes they bunch that all together. And sometimes it's a win for you, and sometimes it's not. So I've dealt with it where it's definitely been a win, where they included the quarter round and the flooring. And by them doing that, I was able to identify the difference between the different contractors. So make sure you understand the pricing. And when you're going out and interviewing these different contractors, you'll start to learn how the pricing process works. Dealing with contractors, you want to make sure that they're professional and that they're adult acting. I'll be real with you. Sometimes there are some good contractors out there, and there are some other contractors that are pretty rough around the edges. So you want to make sure that you're dealing with professional individuals that understand what deadlines are, understands what the process is, understands how to clean up after themselves, especially if they're doing a project and you have multiple contractors. And I can tell you a story where I had a contractor, well, we had the painting contractor, we had the crown molding contractor, and we had the flooring contractor. All three of them at one point kind of ran into each other's schedule. So what happened was, and how we were able to work it out, was that with one contractor, he was just like, hey, if you can get your crown molding guy, and your painting guy to finish the front two rooms, by the time I get there, I'll be able to start in those rooms, and that should be enough to get us through the first night or so, because they were working in the evenings for that particular project. So when that happened, that let me know that individual knew what he was going to do at the project. It wasn't like they were just going to show up, waste time, and so forth. They were going there just like, hey, we can start in this room and work our way out, as long as they finish up the painting and the crown molding. That way there's no paint drops or anything like that, or sawdust or anything from the crown molding that'll be on the floor. Plus, when you laying flooring down, you don't want to have that many people walking on the floor afterwards. I'm pretty particular about it as well. I'm telling people take off the shoes and wear the socks. So, but But everybody's different. But that's what I mean by professionalism. Make sure that they're meeting those deadlines. They understand what they are, and if they get to a point where they're not going to meet their deadlines, then the key thing is for them to communicate with you. So if they're doing that ahead of time, even if they get behind and they're communicating with you in advance, obviously you got to look at your schedule with your projects, but make sure you communicate. But that's still a good thing if they're reaching out to you ahead of time. If you're looking for painters, people always ask me, well, say if I'm looking for a specific contractor. Well, painters, a good paint that's out there is Sherwin-Williams. It's a national paint that they have locations all around the country. So one of the tricks that I do, it's not so much a trick, but it's if you think about it, it makes sense. Is that what I do is I kind of hang out at the Sherwin-Williams store, or I may go into the Sherwin-Williams store and ask them if they have any painters that are pretty responsible, that are probably doing a few thousand gallons of paint a week. Who would they recommend? And a lot of times they tell you that they can't really recommend anybody specifically. But if you notice when you do go into those stores, they do have a wall with contractors on it. So, it's all about letting them know that, hey, you're growing your business, you're expanding, and by doing that, you want to make sure that you get some professional and reliable individuals that actually use a quality brand. Sherwin-Williams is pretty quality. So by doing that, you're going to run into different painters, especially if they have that board of business cards. You contact them, ask them how much they charge per square foot. What is their pricing? If their pricing is for paint, what is their pricing for labor? What is their pricing for interior? What is their pricing for exterior? What is their pricing for painting the ceiling, the trim, or just the walls, wall repair? Those are a couple of questions that you want to ask them to see if they do, because not all painters do wall repair and drywall repair. So keep that in mind. Also, you can find contractors on websites. There's a number of different websites. I think there's a website, Angie's List. You can Google handyman, painters, different contractors online, and those are going to give you some individuals. There may be some feedback on each of those companies that may be out there. I don't know if they'll be how their pricing is a lot of times, but that's what you ask them. What is your pricing? You want to know if they're kind of expensive or not. So with any contractor, not only do you want to have 3 of them, but get 3 different bids from them. Whenever you're doing a project, get 3 different bids. Another way of finding contractors and building a professional team is seeing who's actually doing projects. So if you're in a community where you want to do projects or find a home, drive the area. See what ugly houses or what homes are having contractors. Even in my neighborhood, I see contractors pulling up to different homes, the painters, carpet people, lanais, doing lanai screen, pool contractors. I just ask them for one of their business cards. I'm just like, hey, if they're already in the business and if they're actively in the business, you can kind of observe their work, especially if they're doing like exterior paint. You know what the house looked like before. Just drive by it in a couple of days and see what it looks like after the fact. Dealing with painters, make sure to know if they're spraying or if they're rolling. Some of them use a combination of spraying and back rolling. On the exterior, some do the rolling and some do the spraying. In certain situations on the exterior, if it's a windy day and they want to do the sprayer, that's no bueno. I had a client, they were buying a home and they had a light colored home, very light colored home, and the home next to it was being built. And when that home was being built, it was like a dark tan, or almost brown. I might as well say it was brown. But what was going on is that the spray, when the wind was blowing, the paint, the dark colored paint was going onto the light color. And you could actually see it. And it was amazing because we talked to the project manager. We're just like, what is the issue? It looks like somebody threw some dirt or something on the side of the building, but we couldn't figure it out until one day I was driving and it dawned on me. I said, the house next door is brown, and this is like a very light gray, you know. And basically what happened was it was a two-story house, and they were spraying it, and they sprayed it, and the paint went over to the light color. So be aware of that. So, you know, that's some of the tricks and trades that I will be sharing in the group. You know, in these modules that I do, there's only so much information that I can give because there's so much experience that's out there, and that's also why it's good to be in the mastermind so other people can kind of share their experiences. Also, finding contractors. If you're part of any real estate groups, you know, there's a number of different real estate groups that are out there. You have your RIAs, which typically stands for Real Estate Investing Association. You have your realtor groups that meet. But a lot of times in these groups, they have different vendors. And with these different vendors, they are contractors. You know, they do different things. They may do flooring, they may do painting, they may do handyman stuff. Those are good people to interview as well. And when I say interview, because you always want to interview whoever you're working with, is because a lot of times in those small groups, what happens is that they realize that they're in a group of people where they're doing nothing but buying homes, or they deal with people who buy homes on a daily basis. You know, so they know that if they do a good job with you, someone else will be able to reference them. You would be able to reference them to the next person, and vice versa. They know if they do a bad job or try to stiff you in some kind of way, then they know that if they do that, that they're going to probably not have any more business within that circle. So, and a lot of times when you go to these different investment groups, you're looking at 50 to 100 people that actually show up to these groups. So to any contractor, say if you only got, I don't know, 20% of those people to do a job, and they all just did one job. You know, for a painter, you know, you're looking at a $2,000 to $5,000, $6,000 job for each job. And if you had 20 of those in a year, that's pretty good. That's just from one source, if you think about it. So they look at it, that's pretty solid chunk. So if you're looking at, say, 4,000 times 20, you're thinking about it, I'm like, man, 4,000 times 20, that's like 80 grand there. So you don't want to mess that up. They don't want to mess it up. Trust me, they don't want to mess it up. So that's one of the big things that they do to make sure that, you know, things that you're dealing with people that are professional and that are going to be reliable and dependable. That is so key when it comes to contractors, because a lot of times you're on a time frame. If you're on a time frame, time is money. So if these contractors are going over the days that they provided you, saying, hey, we'll finish this in 3 days, and they don't finish for 2 weeks, that may prevent you from lining up the next contractor, because you ideally you don't want a painter in the house when you're having floors put down, because what's going to happen is you're going to get paint on the floors. You don't want that. You don't want that at all, because then that's going to cost you money to have that replaced. And a lot of times that could be a big issue. I've definitely had that happen, and luckily we were able to recover. And what I mean by that, we actually had 2 rooms, and one of them we were kind of get away with, but 2 rooms that needed to be, that we had carpet in, and they painted in that room. And instead of pulling the carpet back, they were supposed to pull the carpet back, they just went ahead and painted. And yeah, that created an issue. But luckily, we were able to get through that because we had a lot of carpet that was in that home and that we were replacing with different flooring. So luckily that worked out. Another source for acquiring contractors, I would say, it's a contractor, but it's not so much just to get a contractor, but it's to have the network with them. And that would be code enforcement. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times if you are in relationship with a code enforcement individual, what happens is they are aware of, say, people that are doing things the wrong way. And then also people who do things the right way. They can be a great source because they know who's in the business, who's reputable, because a lot of times these individuals have to go through some type of code enforcement or inspectors to have permit to get sign-offs on permits that they have. So with having a person like that in your network, they can let you know who does certain work, and because they've probably gone to multiple jobs of theirs. And then it also kind of lets you be aware of if there's some projects that are out there that may have been red tagged. And red tagged is basically people who are doing work on a home that may not have permits to do the work. And they've gotten caught by the city or county or something inspector, and they came out and basically halted all work that is being done on there. And a lot of times it costs them a lot of money because any work that was done that wasn't permitted, they have to tear it all down and start from that point. So a lot of times these guys get caught and they're probably like days away from being completed, and they've probably spent a couple of weeks on projects. And yeah, as you can imagine, that can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So another reason to make sure that you get your permits. Some people do play the game of not getting permits for certain things that need permits, and it's a big risk. Definitely is a big risk. And then lastly, I saved it for last, but it could probably be utilized towards the beginning. Finding contractors, you can go to your neighborhood hardware store. You have Lowe's, you have Home Depot, you have Ace. A lot of these contractors, they use the hardware stores, and you'll find them on a regular basis there. And how a strategy that I've implemented in my business and that I've done in the past is that if I need a specific contractor, particularly handymen, guys that may do a little bit of remodeling, drywall, even painting, flooring, and bathroom remodels. What I do, now I'll tell you the secret, because that's what this is all about, giving you the secret, is you may go there early. And what I mean by early, I mean go to one of these stores at like 6 o'clock in the morning. If Home Depot in your area opens up at 5, hang out there between 5 and about 7:30, because a lot of times these guys are getting started on their jobs at 7:38. So if they're starting on their job at 7:38, they're going to Home Depot to pick up material early in the morning so that they can get to their jobs on time. So a lot of times what happens is they'll go early in the morning because they probably put it in an order the night before. They'll put in an order, and what they do at Home Depot is they prepare these orders overnight. The night crew basically packs everything up, puts it on a cart for them, and then that way they can pick it up early in the morning, will call. So what you do is you go to Home Depot early in the morning and you hang out in the will call area. As you're seeing people grabbing their carts that's loaded with material, you may see, hey, that person is putting in toilets, so they must be doing a bathroom remodel. Ask them. It's like, hey, what kind of project you guys are doing? And they'll tell you. They're just like, hey, we're doing a remodel and so forth along those lines. And you're like, hey, you guys have a business card? And they're just like, yeah. And you just let them know, like, hey, I'm growing my business. I'm expanding. And I am looking for some responsible individuals that do some great work. And they were like, oh, well, great. And a lot of times, you ask them, they'll give you a little bit more feedback on what they do. And you're just like, well, what else do you do? What is a bathroom remodel considered? Because they may just say, hey, I'm doing a bathroom remodel. Well, they say, well, with this particular one, we're going to be doing glass tile. We're going to be putting in new toilets, new vanities. And you're writing all the things down that they actually do. And then you ask them, you're just like, hey, do you mind if I, later this week or later this day, maybe meet you at one of your projects to kind of see what kind of work you're doing? And a lot of times they'll tell you yes, they don't mind. And a lot of times it also depends on the owner, because I've definitely dealt with some contractors where they're like, hey, this one's probably not the best one to stop by, but we'll have another one starting up next week. And they'll tell me, and I'll go by and take a look at it. And you go by and take a look at the work, and they'll walk you through what they're doing. And that's the key, because as you're getting different projects or coming across different possibilities of needing a contractor for whatever it may be, you may already have somebody in the pipeline. Plus, if you tell them that you're in the business of, redoing homes or needing contractors, you're in the real estate world, this is going to be key for you, because they may even become an advocate for you. If they relate to you in some kind of way, come, because they're always coming across projects. You know what I mean? Trust me. They may refer you. So exchange business cards. So as I stated, make sure that you go to those hardware stores, talk to those guys, interview them. Yes, please, the three, and I repeat it. Make sure that they're licensed, insured, get references, then also visit the contractors on their job. You want professionals? Trust me, it will save you a lot of headache in the end. So, but that was module 2, building your contractor team. It's Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur.
All right, guys, there you go. There you go. We are almost here at the end. That was module 2. So definitely appreciate everyone that was able to hang in there. What I want you guys to do, so remember from module 1, there is the homework assignment I want you guys to do. That is thinking about what your why is, and also thinking about what makes you unique. And then we're going to add one more homework assignment. So it's a total of 3 different homework assignments. This third one is actually going to have you be a little bit more active. And what I mean by that is that I want you to interview someone that may a contractor, it may be a painter, it may be someone that you meet at the hardware store, it may be someone that you see in your neighborhood. Take a conscious effort of trying to find a contractor. And if you can't interview them going through the pricing and everything, at least get their business card, okay? But keep in mind, you want to do the 3 things that I've mentioned, especially with the contractor team. I've lost thousands of dollars by trying to cut corners and thinking that, oh, yeah, they did a job for them, they'll do a great job for me, which is sometimes true. But at the same time, you still want to do your due diligence with anyone. So like I said, the 3 things were repeated. Make sure that they're licensed and insured. The second one, check their references. And then the third one, you want to visit them on their job sites. Make sure that you are visiting them on their job sites, see what they're doing, see how they manage a project. Are they keeping the place clean? Are they cleaning up after themselves? The big thing about contractors, especially if this property is vacant, you don't want them smoking in your house. And I say that because some people laugh. They're just like, well, what do you mean? Because especially if they're painting, and with wet paint and when someone's smoking in the house, that smell will stay in the house. So trust me, you want to make sure that you are dealing with some responsible people. So that's one of the tips and tricks that you'll probably learn in the private group, is how to manage your actual job sites. So that's one tip that I learned because it does stink. Especially a lot of these contractors, they have other guys that they bring in, and they may drink or they may smoke. You don't want that on your job site, and you don't want that reputation either as you're doing your project. So keep that in mind, responsible individuals. So as we close this evening, we have 3 homework assignments. What is your why? Also, number 2, what makes you unique? And number 3, try to interview a contractor. Like I said, it doesn't matter what type of contractor, painter, plumber, electrician, someone that does floor and handyman, get their business card, try to ask them about pricing. See if you can have that conversation. So if you haven't already, be sure to join the private Facebook group. There will be another email going out in the next 24 hours that will have a link to the group. If you just request to join the group, we'll make sure that you get approved. So just keep that in mind. So everyone, I appreciate everyone being involved. So our next time we will be meeting is next Thursday. So keep that in mind. Same time, same place. There will be an email that will go out. So make sure that you guys have registered. If not, just reach out to me. Like I said, you guys can contact me directly. I believe we have everyone that's actually on here For those that are in the other groups that are out there, the private groups, as well as the different Instagram groups, keep that in mind as well. Just reach out to me or reach out to the person that actually got you involved in this mastermind. So once again, everyone, I appreciate you being here. This is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. Have a great evening. Stay safe, stay blessed. Take care.